So on this course we have been talking about what makes methods good, or why do we do software engineering the way we do. Basically, the all relies on the fact that how good our methods are and how experienced our crew are. First of all, methods are used because we simply cannot manage all the details without having some sort of a systematic approach to work. Usually this means that method defines how development is done, what tools and techniques are used, what roles exist, what each person in the development organization is responsible for, what is good and why, the beliefs, values and rationales. For example, in Scrum, having daily meetings or dividing workload into sprints and having all the features and requirements in sort of checklists. That's a belief that it's good for the process, and that's something that seems to be working. Also, methods define what phases are included and in what order, so giving the entire roadmap or guideline or recipe on how to develop the particular piece of software. Also, keeping in mind that we have been talking about different formalized methods on this course. Formalized means that it's something that's defined, it's documented, and it's something serializable, meaning that you can buy a service where a person, usually a consultant, comes to your company and teaches your crew to use that approach. However, obviously, most companies apply method in action, which means that it's not the formal method, but it's the local application of formalized method and how people are actually using the given approach they have been taught and what they have been told to use. Of course, this method in action may be or may not be based on formalized method, but usually at least some form of or some similarity to existing formalized methods are used. For example, in game industry, Scrum is very, very usual formalized method which is applied as method in action in almost all companies which are smaller than international large software houses. So, why do we use methods? Well, besides that we have to be able to manage things or even manage things to get things done or even to be able to tell people what to do, there's also a couple of other things. For example, the reduction of complexity means that we have process phases, we have subtasks, we have tasks, we have lists, which give specific focus and objectives for each person on each day or each phase of the project, and also something that can be observed or at least measured that we are near getting our objectives done. This also means that by methods we are able to have some sort of management and control activities, assess, and if needed, be able to do changes into the way we are currently doing our software. So basically it's a controlling framework, it's reduction of complexity, and it's also a division of labor. So it tells each person what they are doing, what they should be doing, and what they will be doing in the near future. Also, going besides one development task, it also gives an idea that we get to systemize our development knowledge, meaning that we have a documented knowledge and have documentation to rely on if and when our software project suffers from changing personnel by accident or by just people who have important knowledge or important tasks leaving our company. So this makes it possible, for example, to me give these lectures and you to learn the basics and fundamentals before actually going into company, where you only have to learn about the local peculiarities of their software work, while you already know the generic idea of how to do things. Also, the standardization of development process means that you can also use just-in-time resources, meaning that you can plan your how many test suites you need, or you can plan beforehand when you need to have customer testing, or plan when you need extra working hours so you can manage your project budget. It also facilitates interchanging developers, meaning that you can take one developer from one project and with a reasonable time for adjustment use them as your developer without having to actually hope that everyone stays safe and don't have accidents or get fed up with the company and decide to change their working place during the project. So, those are more or less the formal reasons why we use methods, why we develop methods, why software engineering methods are so important for companies. They enable us to create software, they give us better quality, they enable us to control our work or control the project, and give sort of a safety net in case we need to do drastic changes. On the research community, also some additional things have to be kept in mind. Usually, these methods are more or less just a way of listing best practices, or as international standards, they are consensus of several different people. So in research sense, there's sometimes very little empirical evidence that benefits of different methods, but usually methods are based on best practices, and what seems to work is something that we are going to use in the near future.